Looking behind us is a natural flood management type of defence. It's a leaky barrier, which effectively means it consists of posts of wood and then large timber to form the sort of physical basis of that. And then woven into that, we've got some live material, some live willow that's then going to grow up through that material, through that wood, to form the structure over time.
The natural materials act as a new type of flood barrier to slow the flow of water off hills. The Environment Agency is working alongside the Woodland Trust and the Mersey Forest to test the effectiveness of these types of flood prevention measures.
Downstream we have a flood risk, and then the downstream it's effectively a flood risk locally in Barrow Bridge, and then further down we lead into Manchester and the further wider flood risk there. So by intervening in the upstream areas and trying to trap and store and slow the flow behind features such as these, we then try and reduce the flood peak, the height of the flood peak, the severity of that flood in those downstream areas. So this isn't instead of those conventional techniques that we might use in locations downstream, such as wall building or conventional defences. It's kind of as well as. It's trying to say, well, what can we do where the water falls on the land to help slow it before it just gets downstream and causes that problem. It's to intercept it along the way.
The leaky barrier on the Smithills estate has been designed to hold back up to 150,000 litres of floodwater, the equivalent of a double-decker bus. Using natural flood management aims to manage flood risk to local properties and improve the habitats of the wildlife in the area.
The Smithills estate is the largest estate that the Woodland Trust owns in England. It's right on the outskirts of Bolton, so go from a really urban landscape to this open moorland and fields here at Smithills. It's a large estate with a variety of landscapes and habitats. We've got grassland, moorland and woodland, and it's a place that the Woodland Trust bought so that they could try out landscape scale conservation. And so some of the work we do here is working in partnership. And for example, we've been working with the Mersey Forest and the Environment Agency to carry out natural flood management.
According to the Environment Agency, trees and woodlands play a crucial role in helping our region adapt to climate change. David says that steps need to be taken to mitigate the impacts brought with it, adding that whilst this is a great start, realistically more needs to be done.
We need all the things that we can do to try and mitigate and sort of try and make those impacts be more reduced going forward, to make us resilient to climate change. Because the predictions are that we will get more wetter weather, we will see more storms, we will see events that were rarer becoming more frequent. So we need to do all that we can with the way water moves through that system, the water cycle, to intervene and try and mitigate those impacts.